Good morning. My name is Reverend Dr. Becky Coots-Kimbley, and I have been wanting to do a video on how I came through Lyme disease not only once, but twice for quite a few years now. And I just have not had the time to do it. And now I'm going to do it because I think now is the perfect time as people are starting to wake up and realize that conventional medicine and trying to heal in a 3D world is just not working anymore. I originally got diagnosed with Lyme disease in 2016 after dealing with it, not knowing that I was dealing with it since about 1998. So I'm going to kind of show you my journey and what I did to come through all of that, because it really does require you to go outside of the 3D world and conventional medicine. Today, we're going to talk about the truth about why healing doesn't happen for a lot of people and how I was able to break free. A lot of people that have worked with me or have been following me on Facebook, they know my story. They know what I had to do to come through Lyme disease because it wasn't a pill, it wasn't a protocol, it wasn't getting all these different labs done. It was literally stepping back, observing and taking stock of my life and what I wanted and who I was, which are the questions that I always ask. Who are you and why are you here? I never had a bullseye rash. When people ask me about Lyme disease, I always say, I never had a bullseye rash. That's why I didn't know I had Lyme disease. I remember going to the endocrinologist multiple times and asked, begged, can you please test me for Lyme disease? And all three times was negative. Why? Because Lyme doesn't live in the blood. It hides. It hides in your cells. It mimics cells. It hides in tissues. It hides behind biofilms. It hides in the joints. It's literally undetectable in blood work, which is why you're never going to find it if you do have it. After 18 years of this, I had this mystery illness. I was originally diagnosed as thyroid disease and exhaustion, trying to figure out the next great thing to help me. That's why it didn't work. And when I finally got diagnosed with Lyme disease, it still didn't save me. But yes, I had an answer. But Lyme wasn't the real root. Living a life that wasn't mine was. I waited 18 years for a name, and when it came, I finally felt validated. I did all the things, diet, supplements, detox, hope, but it didn't work. 18 months of circling a drain, even after doing it all right. That's when the question hit me. Maybe this isn't a physical problem anymore. And this is what we teach in DNA, dynamic neuromuscular assessment. We're looking at the physical body, the physiological body, the emotions, and the limbic system. All of that feeds into why someone remains ill or in pain or whatever insert diagnosis. The turning point for me was when I found bioenergetic scanning. It wasn't a lab, it was bioenergetics because it's reading the energy, it's reading someone's biofield. It was able to pick up those distorted frequencies that were constantly showing up in my biofield. I started noticing emotional patterns showing up like anger, betrayal, abandonment, resentment. Every time betrayal showed up, so did Lyme disease. So I started thinking deeper, reading more books, connecting the dots, lots of aha moments. And I saw this in not only my scans, but also a lot of my clients who mimicked a lot of the same health issues, Lyme disease. This wasn't random, this was a frequency. This was a mismatched frequency in my biofield. So it was prompting me to look at it, to change something. I realized the real infection wasn't just bacteria, it was a frequency, it was a pattern, it was a wound. Some of the books that I recommend to a lot of our students in KQU is Harmonic Healing from Linda Lancaster. The other book that's really good that'll help you dive deeper into all of the different concepts we're talking about today is Molecules of Emotion from Candace Pert. There's also Joe Dispenza's books. Disease isn't just physical, it's stored emotion looping through the body, waiting for you to break the cycle. Only you can do that. The core wound, living a life that wasn't mine. This is a common theme that I see across the board. The ultimate betrayal was betraying myself by following others' paths, staying silent when my soul was screaming, shrinking to be safe. This is what lowered the field and allowed illness to stick, because illness doesn't exist in the 5D realm. This concept that illness doesn't exist in 5D is a deeply resonant truth in bioenergetics and one that we teach in our university in quantum healing and metaphysical science. Let's unpack it clearly, integrating our teachings, frequency medicine, and foundational wisdom from voices like Dr. Joe Dispenza, Linda Lancaster, Dolores Cannon, and frequency-based quantum modules. Why illness doesn't exist in the 5D realm. Number one, illness is a density-specific phenomena. Illness as we know it, chronic inflammation, autoimmune loops, degenerative conditions. It's a manifestation of incoherence in the lower dimensions, 3D, 4D. These are frequencies. It requires time, which is a linear cause effect, polarity, good, bad, sick, well, and emotional looping like fear, betrayal, shame. In 5D and above, where time is non-linear and consciousness is unified, there is no mechanism for chronic illness to exist as a fixed identity. And I want you to just sit and think about that. Only information and resonance exists. We all know emotions are frequencies. What is the frequency that you are living in? It's a feeling. What do you feel? What is your yes? What is your no? Disease is the body interpreting incoherent frequency. In 5D, only coherent frequency is allowed. Number two, lower frequencies cannot permeate higher dimensions. This is bioenergetic physics. The lower cannot override the higher frequencies, but the higher can restructure the lower. This is why living in love, joy, peace, and gratitude can affect the lower frequencies of anger and fear. This is why raising frequency doesn't just improve your health, it eliminates the conditions that allow illness to root at all. This principle echoes from Christ consciousness to quantum field theory. Just like fear cannot live in the presence of unconditional love, disease cannot anchor in a field full of remembrance. This is echoed in the law of vibration where only matching frequencies entangle. Where do these concepts come from? There's lots, but these are the basic ones. Joe Dispenza, you cannot create a new reality with the same personality that created the illness. He teaches that the body heals when your identity shifts into the unified field. Dolores Cannon, her clients in hypnosis often reveal that disease only manifests when the soul is not aligned. Higher selves would say she doesn't need this illness anymore, and it would vanish, much like what happened to me. In Bruce Lipton's Biology of Belief, environment plus perception, frequency, is control biology. Disease equals a biological response to an incoherent perception. Carolyn Mace, illness is the soul's last resort to get your attention. Are you listening? In the 5D field, there is no inflammation, no time loop, no betrayal echo, because the frequencies required to generate illness simply can't exist there. When I aligned with the question, when I asked myself, who am I really and why am I here? The frequency of betrayal no longer matched that field of mine, and Lyme couldn't stay. It was a frequency. Lyme became a mirror for me, not as punishment, but as a teacher. It was happening for me to learn, not to me. I never had a bullseye. A lot of people ask me that, and I've worked with a lot of people who have never had a bullseye rash yet have Lyme disease. Why? Because it's everywhere. It's in the air, it's in your food, it's in your water, it's biowarfare. Don't believe me? Read the book Bitten or Lab 257. You're going to get really angry. Even when I had labs, never found the Lyme disease. So imagine my shock when I realized 18 years later, the whole entire time that I was sick, it was Lyme disease the whole entire time. But I was passed from person to person, misdiagnosed. Oh, you have autoimmune thyroid disease. Oh, you're burning the candle at both ends. Oh, you're a typical type A. You're high strung, high stress. You need to slow down. You need to do X, Y, and Z. Imagine feeling illness and looking for help, and no one can help you. I was literally screaming, but yet no one was hearing me. That's frustration. This is not just infection, this is environmental frequency warfare. The awakening was when I stopped identifying as someone who had Lyme. Those who have worked with me, you're always going to hear me say, stop identifying your disease, my insert disease here. Don't say that because the brain doesn't know the difference. You say my Lyme or my whatever, now your body's going to associate with it. I also started rebuilding my field. I started getting out of the 3D of fear, anger, misery, and started living more in abundance, love, joy, peace, gratitude, looking towards the future, looking at what I had now, and not what I didn't have. I used intuition and frequency to know when something wasn't mine because you literally can feel it in your biofield, in your nervous system. And that's what we teach, how to communicate with your nervous system. What is your nervous system's yes, and what is your nervous system's no? Because it's communicating with you all day, every day. I learned to feel what betrayal felt like in my body and respond to it in real time. This is how we teach in K2U. We don't do emotional work the way everyone else does, because 9 times out of 10, it's going to blow you up and flare you. Lyme didn't leave me. I walked away from that version of me that it needed. And the deeper truth, why people don't heal, because they're still stuck in a 3D world. I see it every day. What's the best lab? What's the best protocol? What's the next magic supplement? I've been to 15 different practitioners. That's a red flag. They're looking for someone external to do something for them rather than look in the mirror and what do I need to fix? What do I need to correct? Am I living my life the way I'm supposed to be? Is this my soul's purpose? Am I living a life that someone else wants me to live? You have to return to resonance, remembering, who am I? Why am I here? And what am I still holding on? That's not mine. It was also very interesting because when I traced back 18 years searching, 18 months drowning, 1 + 8 = 9. 9 is a completion number, end of a soul cycle. I broke the loop. I rewrote my own story, and that was the lesson. And I want you to understand this, that you can do this at any time. If you're sick and tired of being sick and tired, just exit the matrix. It's that easy. That is how you start healing yourself. I still remember the day when I said, Lyme disease doesn't exist in my body. It's like something inside of me shifted and a whole other world opened up. And I continued to do that day in and day out. I had to retrain my brain. I don't have Lyme disease. Lyme disease doesn't exist. Lyme isn't part of me. I don't identify with Lyme disease until I finally remembered the truth. Your invitation, if you're watching this, please know that we can help you. We've helped hundreds of people figure this out. This isn't rocket science. This is learning how to return back home to yourself, a theme that we have been teaching for the last 2 years. It is a remembrance. Who are you? Why are you here? If you're still sick, it may not be the bacteria. Maybe it's the betrayal you're stuck in, or you keep getting repeated in, like what just happened to me again with the company that we just walked away from. It's a lesson. Did I let it overcome me? No. Did I let it control me or define me? No. Did Lyme show up a couple times on bioenergetic scanning? Yes. But I was aware of the signs, the symptoms, what I was feeling in my body, the story that I very easily could have gotten sucked back into. But I chose not to because I'm not that. I walked away. Maybe it's the silence, the loop you're stuck in. Maybe it's people pleasing. Maybe it's the parts of you that said yes when you were really screaming inside no. If this resonates with you, we can help you. If you don't know where to begin, just book a discovery call. We have a resonant alignment session where we ask you a couple of questions and figure out, are you ready to heal? Because healing takes energy, time, and commitment. We don't fix. It's not me telling you what to do and healing with you. It is me walking alongside of you as your mirror. We can help figure out what your next step is. You can do free education. Obviously, those of you who followed me on Facebook know how much free information I put out. We do have a private Facebook group. I also have a subscriber group. If you'd like to subscribe, because those people in the subscriber groups actually get mini field reports if they're needed, so I can help them out. We also have KQU, where you can learn how to heal yourself. We have courses as low as $9.99, $27, $47, all providing you with the blueprints on where to start. Maybe you need one-to-one help. We have certified licensed coaches that can help you. Just go to KimberlyQuantumCollective.com. You can read all about who we are, what we do, how we help people. You can book a call. You can go to KQU. You can look at our offerings. Your healing doesn't live in a protocol. It lives in your permission to be who you really are. If you're ready to change your frequency, I highly recommend starting with our Genesis field interpretation. This report will go through everything that is not in resonance with your biofield. It will give you detailed action items on what to do, things to change. It is a starting point for many people to gain clarity on what it is that they need to do to move forward. So we have a couple different ways for you to reach out. If you're not sure, just book a call. If you're ready to jump in 100% online, self-paced, you're a go-getter, go to KQU. If you need a little direction, get a field report. If you want hands-on, we have one-to-one coaching. We are here to guide you. Every instructor inside of KQU has been hand-selected, or rather, they came into the field because they've all lived through similar lives as me. We've all walked through the fire, and we've all come out on the other side to teach people how to heal and to give them hope. And that is why most people enroll in our school, whether it's the Doctor of Natural Medicine program, the bioenergetic, or the Certified Holistic Health Practitioner because they're tired of outsourcing their time and their money, and they want to learn how to heal themselves. That's why KQU exists. So I hope this video blesses you. I hope it helps you. I hope, if anything, it is eye-opening on how I came through Lyme. And when I say Lyme, it's usually an umbrella term with most people. I had Lyme, mold, POTS, mast cell activation, Epstein-Barr, herpes, all of that.